Okay, welcome back to the BeachCast, episode 5. Slightly different format today because we're not just chatting with an individual, we're discussing the group of a charity and the work they do and things like that. So this charity uniquely marries up fishing and well-being and mental health, and the guy behind it, Mr. Dave Williams.
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
Right,
Nice
yeah,
to
good,
meet you.
thanks, good.
So you're the founder of the charity. So that's all right, but you carry on.
Cheers, Con, thanks.
That's the members turning up.
So, yeah.
Now you carry on, mate.
So that's what happens, yeah, we agree to meet a time and people turn up lots of different times.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get to know Dave, let's get to sort of open up a bit of a spotlight on Reel Minds and sort of their work, their activities and sort of their history. So can you give the viewers like an overview of what is Reel Minds and, if possible, outline social prescribing of what that is, because people might not understand what that means.
Sure. I mean, the idea was pretty simple, really, and it come from the not being able to go fishing in lockdown and just noticing like the negative effect it had on me, and that was the thing I was missing more than anything else.
Yeah.
And yeah, when we come back around, and there was a lot of stuff in the news about mental health and things like that, so we thought, well, work for me, and I took one of the other founder, Josh. I used to take him out fishing towards the end of lockdown, and it worked for him. So we thought, why not do that? Why not put this idea together?
Yeah.
Where we take people out fishing, and that's how it started. We're like maybe 2 or 3 people. We just we put some stuff on Facebook. If you want to get out fishing, we'll take you out. Yeah, it was like the same 4 or 5 people for a few months, and then it's just word sort of gets around, and more people, and and then it's the difference in support that people need. Then I think that's been the big thing. Some people will come along just because they haven't got anyone else to go fishing with, maybe.
No. Okay,
and maybe they know what they're doing. Other people just don't have transport, or their health has, they've got older, their health has deteriorated to the point where they don't feel safe going on their own. So there's loads of different reasons people come. Some people don't have a hobby, never been fishing before, and have real issues with things like anxiety and
well, I'm one of those,
and depression. Yeah. So, getting them to come out and join the group and come fishing is, I always call it a break from yourself.
I like
is
that.
The thing, and that's what it is. A lot of people, particularly if they've been through trauma, will sit in their house going over and over and over it, saying all the reasons why, why their life's like it is. And honestly, the first time you meet them, that's the first half hour, all they talk about is they tell you all about everything to do with their trauma.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of disappears, it stops, and they start talking about football or something they did 20 years ago.
Well, this leads me on to this bit now. Like, I did some research on Reel Minds, and I found a BBC article, and there was one phrase or quote within that struck a bit of a chord for me, and it highlights kind of what you guys are about. It goes something like this: guys don't really talk face to face, rather shoulder to shoulder. Put 2 guys on a beach fishing for 8 hours and the conversation floodgates open. So, if it's good to talk mantra is evident, and then the social that you provide via fishing embodies all of this. My question is, do you find, is it the environment or is it the fishing that opens or builds these communication bridges between your members?
Yeah, I think it's the environment to start with, you know, particularly because if I said to you, you know what? Come and let's go and have a chat about your mental health. Let's go and have a chat about your feelings. You know, you're probably going to tell me you don't want to do it, I'm not interested, whatever.
Typical.
But if typical bloke response. But
Yeah.
I say, you know, let's go and do something together. You know, and then we end up chatting, and fishing is the perfect environment for it, because you have a lot of downtime. You know, you set up, you cast out, maybe you get another couple of rigs ready, and then you sat watching your rod for 20 minutes, half hour, you know, depending how long you wait between casts, or if you get a fish or not. That's what you're doing. So you have this downtime, and you find that as it goes on, as the session goes on, you know, it's more and more and more, and you know, we tend to roam about. You'll see that the guys here, the volunteers, they'll roam about between all the different guys here. Just have a little chat, you know, and they become quite good at noticing when someone wants to have a bit of a chat, you know, and they'll stick with them for a bit and have a bit of a talk. And yeah, you know, it's like I said, it's the other thing of it gives them something to look forward to.
I'm still like that now, that I have to have things in the diary to look forward to. Like tomorrow I'm off down West Wales early morning with John. Whether it might be something as sort of as simple as that, 8 years ago, I was so crippled with anxiety and depression that I couldn't get out. Like you said, you're within your own four walls at home, and you struggle to sort of break that. I need to get out, and it was John and John and Lee actually, who gripped on and said, "Come on, get out." And once you get out,
and the first session's the hardest.
Yeah.
You know, the amount of times we have a new participant who cancel at the last minute, you know, become ill or something like that, you know, there's some excuse got in the way of not coming. Happens a lot. And then eventually when they do come, you know, and most of them will say to you afterwards, "Oh, I was an idiot for doing that the first couple of times, I wish I'd just come." But it's getting over that first hurdle, it's getting out and seeing that, you know, we are just people, you know, we're not doctors or psychiatrists or anything like that, just normal guys.
So that's where the kind of social prescribing thing comes in, is there's just this environment with normal blokes, and eventually by dropping your shoulders and relaxing more, people start to talk, and then the anxiety about actually just coming disappears.
It just goes away. It becomes something to look forward to, you know.
Oh, definitely. So on any given month, I know you kind of release dates of forthcoming activities, things like what sort of stuff do you set up?
So this is one of like the toughest bits. This is where all the work comes in, is planning dates. And like, I don't know how, I'm amazing at picking weather months in advance. Like even if the fishing's rubbish, the weather's usually good.
We could plan my sessions. I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, well, that's it. We very rarely get one, you know, called off for weather or anything like that. But yeah, we don't always have the fish. Is the shame of it. But
there's one. He's going. He caught mackerel.
How did?
There you are.
There we are. Mackerel on the nap.
Yeah, I've just been picking up sets of feathers, so they're clearly people know about it and they're chasing them.
How did we manage that?
I don't know.
What did you have that on? Shut up.
Double sand eel. Bloody hell.
They're bigger than that mackerel. Well, they definitely are about then.
Yeah, no. So Carl was messaging me last night saying that they're having them off stout. Yeah, it's bonkers. Awesome. Fresh bait there, mate. Fresh bait.
So yeah, planning the activities. Sorry, got off there.
No, that's fine.
We tend to. We've got a like scale that we've sort of tried to lump venues into, like, you know, like a 1 to 7 like traffic light system.
Okay.
So we tried to put on a lot of very easy venues, what we would call a green 1, 2, 3. So they're like accessible by wheelchair and things like that.
With you.
So if we've got people who, you know, with disabilities or can't walk very far, there's more of those on than there are the more difficult ones. We tried to put 1 or 2 of the difficult ones on every month, and that's because we've had guys who've been with us for a while and they want to challenge themselves. And they want to have a go at something new. They want to target a certain species. So we do that.
I see you do course fishing as well.
We've started a project in RCT doing course fishing, which has been brilliant. So we just hire like a whole lake out for the day. We get everyone along, you know, we fund like their fishing licenses if they can't afford it and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a great environment. At the moment we've only done half-day sessions, but in July we're going to do a full-day one as well for people who want to do a full day. And in the 6-week holidays we'll be starting kids sessions. So
Awesome.
It'll be, you know, under 16s,
Okay,
come along and learn to fish.
anyone who's watching who may wish to sort of become a member or even know someone who may benefit from sort of the inclusive culture of Reel Minds, how can they find out more about Reel Minds?
I mean, the first thing is there is no membership. We are just open to anyone. So there's no dues, there's no fees, there's no like, you know, you're a member or whatever. We're running programs that we're getting funded by the government. So, you know, it's literally sign up, book onto a fishing session, attend one of the rig making sessions. So we had one this morning in Barry, and we do them in Pontypridd as well. But that's it, yeah. Literally,
is that,
you know,
Facebook page
sign up. You can do it on the website.
Okay.
Is the best way. But all the dates and all the info go on via Facebook. You know, we tend not to update the website that often because it's just, you know, it's a lot of work.
Another admin, yeah.
Yeah, it's just another job to do. So, you know, Facebook's quite easy to get it updated regularly without too much effort.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people have got access to it a lot easier. And
yeah, I mean, it's allowed us to do other things. You know, when we started this, we'd have a lot of people like messaging us late at night. You know, are you okay? Or you know, tell they just wanted to talk.
Yeah.
And again, you know, we're all volunteers and we got families and lives, so it was difficult to be able to answer everyone and be there for everyone. So by using Facebook, we set up a private chat page. So all the guys join that, and then, you know, there's always someone available if it's, you know, there's peer support there. And, you know, we've seen loads of stuff where the guys have done that for each other, you know, gone and helped each other out when, like, someone's car broke down and,
well,
you know, it's created a big community, and then, but just not within the group of people who come fishing, other people outside, you know, you know some of them like Di Llewellyn and Damien Robbins from the gyms, you know, people like that. Yeah, there's been loads of people who sort of got involved outside, you know, loads of the local tackle shops, and you know, it's just too many to mention, like, but have come along and maybe helped out now and again, you know, more experienced anglers who just come along now and again just to have a chat and, you know, try and help people out, give them some tips on their casting or tying rigs or something.
Yeah, no, it's fab. So I was going to sort of ask, like, what the history of Reel Minds. I know you've touched on it earlier, about how it came about and sort of where it all started. What kind of numbers of people did you start with? You know, I think you said 2 or 3 people to start with. What you've
I mean, the first couple of sessions we were taking like 2 and 3 people fishing, and, you know, it was the same 2 or 3, and we do like 4 sessions, 1 session a week, like 4 sessions a month. And now we're having 2 sessions a week. Plus we arrange some special trips, so some of the guys want to do things like go on a boat trip and you know, want to go further afield. Like we did a trip down to Weymouth, like a residential, so we stayed there for the weekend and we went fishing all around Weymouth. Took them to, they absolutely loved it. Boys loved it. And so many of them had, like, you know, their first mackerel, their first smooth hound, their first wrasse.
Nice water down there.
It was brilliant just getting, you know, this is the first time I've ever caught one of
boat?
these. All on the shore. So I took them around Portland, around the harbour, Chesil, you know, and the guys did really well. Like, you know, it's 3 solid days of fishing with little sleep.
Yeah, I can imagine. Lads on tour.
All moaning at me because I was getting them up at 5:30 in the morning.
But good fun though, I should imagine.
Yeah, but, you know, that's what I tried to say to the guys, look, let's not waste the time you're here. You know, we might not get this opportunity again.
Yeah.
Make the most of it. We can all have a rest when we get home.
Definitely.
So we do activities like that, you know, and we do charge sort of a fee for those things because we can't fund all of it.
No, that's fair enough.
But we do subsidise it to make it more affordable for the guys. You know, and like the rig making, you know, we have that once a week now. We're looking at putting on some other activities, like we've had loads of donations and we need to, like, repair them. Yeah. So, you know, we've got the equipment for doing it there.
Yeah, I see Di was out collecting stuff.
And that's it. Like, so many people do that, you know. People will contact people like Di, oh, you know Reel Minds, like, you know, do they want this stuff? And it happens all over, you know. Like, we get phone calls from guys in Newport and West Wales.
With a rod and a reel to get out and start enjoying it. Then, that's awesome.
And that's it. You know, anything we can. You know, most of the guys who come with us we've got a set of, like, you know, spinning rods, set of fly rods, set of beach rods, and they'll use them the first few sessions.
Yeah.
And if they're into it then and they want to come, you know, we'll sort them out a rod and a reel that they can use, you know.
Nice.
So yeah, it's I think it's been good for getting new people into the sport as well.
Fantastic. Now, I'm going to talk about one of your members now, and I think it's one of the members who perfectly demonstrates the success of Reel Minds, Robert Murphy.
All right, yeah.
Right? Obviously, you've met him pre his Reel Minds involvement. What changes have you observed in him since he's been part of it? Now, I'm going to mention that I've got a little bit of history with him, which I didn't know anything about him. He contacted Spooligan about a particular project, and I did it, and it wasn't something that would sort of commercially be anything for Spooligan to get involved with, but I thought, look, I'll do it, I'll send it to him, and I gave him prototypes. It's only afterwards I realised where he's from, the fact that he's involved with you guys, and I was like, bloody hell, it's just like, you know, strange coincidence.
So I think, you know, Rob's, there's a lot I probably can't talk about. He's had a lot of issues, and he's a perfect example though of like the type of progress isn't a straight line.
No.
You know, there are ups and downs, and you know, he went through a period where he came a really long way, and then he had a bit of a dip, and you know, he let that eat away at him a bit, and he's picked himself back up, and he's back up on the up again, you know, and I think that's like a lot of the guys who come, you know, and a lot of the time you can tell, you know, they might miss a couple of sessions, and you think, that's unlike them not coming.
Check in with them,
and you check in with them, and you find out, they had some problems, and you know they needed you to tell them to come back, to say, we're missing you, come back,
on,
you know,
come
and
on,
all right, do you know what, I will then.
Yeah.
So
it's sometimes you need that. You know, I mean,
it's just that little bit of motivation, a little
for me,
kick.
where I kind of drifted out of it and isolated myself and didn't get the motivation or the sort of inkling to get off my arse and get back out. And it was the lads who were like, come on, get out. And it does, it works. And you know, being outdoors in the fresh air, it's so good for you.
Exactly, yeah.
So good for you. Okay, let's move on to you now, Dave. I know we talked off camera that we actually went to the same school.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's watching, it was an all-boys school, local school. Some might know it as a bit of an urban academy for gorillas sort of thing. It had a bit of a reputation in the day, you know, it was a bit of a dog-eat-dog kind of environment. So I know that puts us kind of a similar age. But what's your backstory? You know, where did you grow up, your career, family, etc.?
Yeah, well, I grew up in Barry.
Yep.
And I probably started fishing about seven years of age, I think, something like that. Yes. In Barry Dock, you know, caught every fish under the sun in the dock. And then in my early 20s, I met a girl from the valleys, and I moved to the valleys. Yeah. And I stopped fishing. I went course fishing a couple of times, and one really for me. I kind of just stopped, you know. I never really didn't miss it as such, because I had a young family, I was still playing football and things like that. And it wasn't until one of my kids wanted to go fishing. You know, I took him out once, and that was it. It was like,
backhand, mate.
I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was like, why did I have a break?
Yeah.
But it's amazing to see the difference of, you know, what fishing's like now compared to then. Yeah. You know, one of the mad things is, like, you know, a lot of time you don't know if it's your best fish or not, because we never used to take pictures all the time.
No, you didn't have anything. We didn't have phones. I certainly want to take you.
I did have this massive bass once. How big was? I don't know. I didn't take scales and a camera with me then. I just went fishing.
I mean, you're lucky if you could afford the bait, let alone a camera.
Yeah.
So did most of your fishing around this area as a youngster?
Yeah, you know, and it's weird. I say that to a lot of the boys. I didn't really fish anywhere other than Barry when I lived in Barry. You know, and why would you? And now I'm up there. I go here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I've talked about it on other episodes that it's quite embarrassing, the sort of geographical area that I fished.
Yeah.
I've never done anything sort of east of the Rani, really.
Too muddy.
Yeah, I know I knew it was too muddy, but I mean, when you watch videos of guys up there pulling out big congers, because I'm on this hunt for this double-figure shore-caught eel, and I've never had one. I've had them off boats, but never here. And I've never really gone west of Porthcawl until the last few years, and I've discovered West Wales, and now, especially now doing what I do, and Cornwall and Chesil, and you know, getting out and about more. But yeah, as a youngster, it was all here.
Yeah,
everything was here.
No, mine was. It was all here. Or if I went on holiday, I would take a rod with me, I'd go fishing on holiday. You know?
Yeah.
So I fished in all sorts of countries. I hadn't fished like you said, like Western Porthcawl.
Yeah.
Never fished there until a few years back.
It's bizarre. You know, I know a lot of people when you talk to them, oh, South Wales, fantastic. You know, like Damien will say, he loves it over here. You know, like the ray fishing, all that sort of stuff. And we are quite, you know, sort of lucky with what we've got access
I think
to.
a good variety of fishing, haven't we? You know, as
Yeah.
the year goes on, you can catch anything. You know, I mean, this beach is a perfect example of somewhere where you just never know what you could pull out. You know,
It is the Welsh Chesser.
Mackerel on double sandy. Or
Yeah. That sums up the nap perfectly. I think it's one of those places that, you know, it could be anything. It could be a monkfish, and there's been all sorts of bizarre stuff off here over the years, isn't there? So, other than fishing with Reel Minds, do you do any of your own fishing now, or are you just too busy?
It's funny. I was saying that on the way down to Ethan. I do like a species hunt every year. And this year I'm like way behind where I usually am, and it's because I'm not going to certain places, certain fishing, because I'm doing the group fishing, and then the rest of the time is, you know, for work and family.
Yeah.
So
Mate, I'm exactly the same.
I'm, you know, my own sort of fishing targets now probably suffered a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, as part and parcel, I knew what I was signing up for at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's probably been more involved than I thought in things like personal lives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, we still get to get out, and that's the main thing. You know, I'm not overly bothered about it. I suppose
Is that an age thing? As you get older, a bit more relaxed about stuff and just chilled and not.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think in every aspect of my life, I think when you sort of get into your 40s, you become a bit more like, it's all right.
Well, I got the
don't
big 5-0
don't worry
next year.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do need to learn a bit more. Is it manana, where you know, relax, don't worry about it, do it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just highly strung by nature, unfortunately.
I think sometimes it's that thing we all worry about, like what we think might happen, but it's not. It's not going to, you know.
Yeah.
It's just a lie we tell ourselves. Isn't
John
it?
always says to me, "What's the worst that can happen?"
Yeah.
And that's his phrase. And we were talking about the other day about financials, and he said, "Well, don't worry about it. What's the worst that can happen?" And I wish I could be that more laid back and that more. You know, I tend to try and get this mindset now of worry about the things I can control.
That's it.
The
Absolutely.
things I can't.
Yeah.
I need
Well,
to
worrying about it's not going to make it any better
exactly.
at all.
No, so
not going to
that's the
change a
thing.
thing.
Okay, I know the tide's pushing up on your rod, so we'll just smash through the rapid 10 section now. Some of them are daft.
All right.
Some of them are pretty important. First one, do you have any superstitions?
No, not superstitious.
Not even like when you played football, like you put one sock on before the other, or
No, I've never been a superstitious person.
No?
I joke about superstitions when we're out fishing, but yeah, you know, doesn't.
you're not. An
Don't
avid-
think about it at all. No.
Okay, right. Number two, which bait clip do you prefer to use and why? No, we were just talking about
I
this.
tend to use a Gemini splashdown, the red ones.
Yeah. In terms of what, just reliability or?
Yeah, I just think it's one of these things. I started using them, and you know, I mean, some people say they unclip on it, but I've never had one unclip on me. So
I think all of them at some point
you know, yeah,
fail, but I mean,
I think
everyone's got their own preference.
Yeah, it just comes to personal preference.
yeah, and what your
doesn't it?
casting style's like, whether you're quite snatchy or whether you've got a
Yeah.
very smooth one. So okay, splashdowns. What was your first ever rod?
It was a Silstar. I'm not sure of the exact
I
model.
had a Silstar multiplier. It was like a bag
but
of nails.
It was like a 6-7 foot spinning rod. You know, I was 7.
Yeah,
So-
mine was a Shakespeare one. It was bright green, about 5 or 6 foot, and I fished down Dawlish with it. So what you fish with now? I can see a Tip Tornado there, is it?
Yeah, Tip Tornado Sport and a 6 and bait.
6 and bait, okay. Okay, if a movie was ever made about your life story, who would play you? Which actor would play you? Go for someone really handsome now, like, you know, someone on the
Yeah, who would play me? Oh, I don't know.
You know, you got to think now that someone who's a doppelganger, but maybe 6 foot taller, and you know, handsome, and something. All the ladies are like swooned over.
We'll have the Rock. The Rock can play me.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah,
Hey, what?
Dwayne Johnson.
But
why
can he
not?
cast? Can he cast 7 ounce and bait? You know what I mean? I bet he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was the Rock too. All right, big one. Fish finger sandwich. What condiment you putting in it?
Ketchup. not tartar sauce.
Oh. See, I'm salad
And
cream.
cheese.
And cheese. Go on.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Have you ever watched Whitehouse and Mortimer go fishing? You know, Bob
Do
Mortimer.
you know what? I haven't watched it myself. No.
As I say,
I know about it.
yeah, I love it. I think it's fantastic, and they take Ted the dog with them, and it's just two guys having a bit of banter, and it reminds me a little bit what this is about. You know, just a bit of banter, and the fishing's a bit of a bonus. You know.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like your slogan. You know, more to fishing than catching.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so if you could choose anyone to fish and film with, as in your sidekick, your fishing buddy, who would it be?
Who would I take fishing with me?
Could be famous. It could be someone.
I'd actually take my son Daniel, my youngest son, because he's just, honestly, wherever we go, he's just like the luckiest fisherman ever. So like, if we're on film, like, you know, he's gonna get, like,
I need to get him on board with some of my videos because I'm useless.
He really goes, right? But like, when he does, he always has a really good fish.
Oh,
You know, I've been like out with him. I think we were on Porthcawl Pier when he was about 6 or 7, and all our guys there, you know, the big rods out fishing for cod.
Yeah.
All they can manage is doggies, and then all of a sudden his rod bent over, and a bit of lugworm, and he's pulled in like, you know, 2.5, 3 pound cod. They're all looking at him.
I had this conversation on Damien's episode of his When the Sea Calls, on about people who are just natural fishermen.
Yeah, it just happens.
Just they've got the ability.
I did it. I took him out on a boat trip. So I got 3 sons. I took my 3 sons out with Hayden, Tusker, and Danny, the youngest. He did the Welsh Slam on the boat in the day. Yeah, all 4 rays out. You know, a couple of smooth out. And my one boy managed 1 fish all day. He's just he just got the knack. Yeah.
Yeah, bloody awesome. Right, world's best biscuit, because I know you've just eaten a nice looking cookie.
Oh, mate.
And now you're a dunker.
Definitely a dunker.
Yeah.
My favourite's got to be the moo cow biscuits, haven't they? Malted milk.
Oh, I just had half a dozen before I came out. Literally, I've not eaten all day because I've been busy. Open the barrel, malted milk.
Malted milk.
They're infectious.
I usually prefer them with anything without chocolate though, because I share them with my dogs. I'm a nightmare for it. Like, yeah, have a biscuit. Yeah.
They're actually called fishing biscuits because my eldest pug used to come fishing with me. And I say fishing biscuits to him, he knows what I mean.
Right there, I do have a superstition: fishing mints, which I didn't bring any today. So
see, you're not going to catch no younger.
I know I haven't got any fishing mints. Yeah,
fishing mints. There you are. Secrets out. Right, favourite species to fish for?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm not going to say anything boring, like, you know, hound or ray fishing. I love like fishing in the rocks for minis and that. You know, like we talked about it earlier, wrasse fishing. I love that, you know, like a tiny hook and a little bit of ragworm and getting into a big fish on a small rod is brilliant.
It's something I need to fish more for is wrasse, because the few that I've had have been mental.
Oh,
not big, but
monstrous fight on them, yeah.
Crazy fish. All right, this is a common one I ask most people. Funniest, strangest or best thing you've seen while fishing?
That'll be up there, mind that. Mackerel on a double sandy.
On the
yes, that's up there.
On double sandy.
Aye. It's difficult to say because you know, it's so many times I go fishing a week trying to think of one in particular.
What about your boy pulling out the slamming, like, you know?
Oh yeah, you know, and he does that sort of thing regular.
I think I need to get him on one of my videos. Sounds like a fish magnet.
He definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any nudists or anything like that? Or?
Oh, we had a few of them, yeah, we had a few nudist ones. We had one down here in the comp mine, one of the guys who fishes with us, Barry. He's one who always has like something go wrong or something funny.
Yeah.
And he had his old trainers on for fishing, and he went near the water and he got in his trainers and both the soles fell off his shoes. So he was ambling about on the pebbles.
Oh, there you are, then we'll have that one as a funny one. Right, number 10, last one.
With no shoes.
Rex Hunt or John Wilson?
Oh, John Wilson.
Yeah?
John Wilson's the reason I started fishing.
Oh, yeah?
John Wilson goes fishing. Me and my dad used to watch it. And then it was like, I want to go fishing. And got me my fishing rod. And
I watched everything. Screaming Reels, Rex Hunt.
I just used to love it. He laughed all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm the same. I do that. Like, we went carp fishing, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
First time I've been carp fishing in 20 years. I was like, I'm not doing all that nonsense. I took my spinning rod and a bubble float and a bit of bread, and I was having 7 and 8 pound carp on it, and the fight's brilliant, you know, and the whole time you're just laughing. You got a fish on your little spinning rod laughing at it.
I know he's retired
Brilliant.
now, isn't he? Because he was, like, you know, sort of media-wise, like video,
John
TV.
Wilson?
Yeah.
I think he's dead, mate.
Is he?
Yeah.
No.
He is, yeah.
Since when?
Yeah, I'm sure he died a couple of years ago.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We better not put that in there.
No,
Better not put that in there. I think he's retired. Yeah, I'm
No,
certain he's gone.
Is
Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
no. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You've ruined my day now. Thanks, mate. All right, well, let's get into some fishing.
Definitely edit that out.
Yeah.
I think John Wilson's retired. I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
Out to drop you in size 9 of it. Sorry. Right, let's get some fishing. Then I'm going to scoot round between some of the guys, see if there's any fish out of that little
Oh, there's a
mackerel
few
there.
of them pulling mackerel out there on the feathers, look.
Oh, yeah?
At the top
they're
end.
smashing them out,
They're
so-
not with us, but...
Look, I'm not fishing tonight. I'm off early morning down west with John. So we're going to see what the guys are up to. So, mate, thank you for taking time to talk
no problem,
to me.
mate.
Pleasure.
Thanks,
And,
thanks for having me on.
No, honestly. And I'm
yeah,
sure
go and have a
the
chat with some of
members-
the guys, find out
I'm sure the sort of membership
what
is
they
going to
got to
grow
say.
and onto bigger things continually. So, you know, if I've ever got any spare time, I'll definitely try and hook up with one of your dates. I'll keep an eye on the stuff on socials, and you know, if I'm available, I'll come down and I'll fish.
Well, like I said, anyone's welcome. You know, the only thing is we just say book on, so we know there's enough space. You know, we don't want to
no worries.
turn
All
up
right,
with 30 anglers
Right.
somewhere.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go and find John Wilson and see if there's any fish out.
All right.
Thank you.
Cheers.